Hi everyone, welcome again to my channel. You can support me by subscribing, liking, sharing, making a comment, and I am going to show you how to achieve this delicious dibi. Dibi is lamb and it's all in the techniques. So let's get started. I hope you try it. I hope you like it. If you do try it and like you loved it, please let me know. Feedback is good no matter what it is, good or bad feedback. So let's get started. So when making dibi, you want to get leg of lamb. If you can't find leg of lamb, try to get parts of the lamb that has some kind of bone. It doesn't all have to be bone, but it'll really produce the best result. You don't want your lamb to be all flesh or all like beefy. So I'm just cutting up all of my lamb. This part was just all the parts that had the flesh, but it had some bone to it. All the seasoning that I use will be in my description below. So after seasoning it up, I'm going to add green seasoning. So green seasoning is really important because it adds moisture back to the lamb. Now, if I don't give this green seasoning now, what you should use for this recipe, you should use 1.5 tablespoons of mustard. Mustard acts like a softening agent to make the lamb smoother. Some people who use fried chicken and don't want to use any of the wet batter, they will use mustard to make the fried chicken a little crunchy. But with lamb, it just really makes it soft. So I added my green seasoning, I added my dry seasoning, and I'm just mixing it all up together. So for the best result, you want this to be in the fridge for as long as possible. 24 hours, 48. It'll really like allow time for all the seasoning to just melt together. This is an additional step. It's a bit extra. I brought out a cast iron and just browned the lamb. But to make it simpler, you can add it into your oven. This step isn't necessary, but I just wanted to do this. I think I have produced the same or better result doing everything in the oven. So when this is done searing, I am going to put it in a bowl and bring back moisture. I do not like eating dry protein, and if anyone who has eaten dibi or beef from me, it is very like juicy. So adding the onions back to the dibi brings back moisture back into it. So I cut up onions and I just mixed it with mustard, and I'm mixing it all in there together. I use parchment paper over aluminum foil. The parchment paper just gives it a really good bake. So I'm just adding all of my ingredients together. I added my lamb, I've added my onions. I'm going to wrap it all up and let it bake. When I wrap it up, it will just produce additional moisture that you will have to drain out because it'll be too much, because you do want the dibi to be crisp. So I'm just wrapping it up and I'm going to put it in my oven. Because I seared it, it's not going to cook for a long time. So maybe this can either cook on 20 minutes on low broil or 350 for 25 minutes. And it's ready to go into the oven, and it's just going to be so good. And this was what I got after maybe 20 minutes of breaking on broil. It was just really good. I didn't have to do anything extra, and the best part about eating dibi is when you scoop it into an onion sauce.